Hi guys, I'm back with another cast between what appears to be a Zerg by the name of fLc Bacon as well as Tydrokos. That would be here in the lower left hand corner our Zerg, of course. Spawning in the red trunks, fLc Bacon. Why does the name fLc sound so familiar? Oh boy. I'm gonna have to think this one over, I can already tell. And in the upper right hand corner, everybody's favorite Protoss in eXeA, it's none other than eXeA's very own Tydrokos. And I'm Breaker. Pay no attention to me. I just talk about the game in an extremely high-pitched voice for a 23-year-old college student. I do need to be just a little bit critical of this, however, as we do see fLc Bacon is kind of sending his Overlord out in... Oh, you know what? Never mind. This is actually a good direction. Depending on where you spawn on this map, basically the first thing you want to do is, if you're spawning in the lower left, you want to send your Overlord out in this direction, because then if your opponent is going for a Forge Fast Expand, and if they choose to wall off this direction first, you will see the Pylon and then the Forge. But alternatively, if you spawn over here, the first thing you want to do is you send your Overlord north, because of course that's closer to the natural, and so on and so forth. And if that was the case, it would actually be the perfect thing for Bacon to do, but apparently, you know, he just doesn't quite have that read on Dire yet. Frankly speak, excuse me, he doesn't quite have that read on Tydrokos yet. Now, of course, there is a spawning pool going down. This is the most standard way to open versus Protoss. However, the biggest question is, will Bacon be continuing this up with, say, with a gas, maybe trying to do a speedling opening of some sort? Well, let's just stand by and find out. He did go for the natural. It did get placed down successfully. And fun fact of the day, there is one spawn location on this map that will allow you to do the full pylon wall off, but instead of 3 pylons, it requires 4. I believe it was this one. I'm trying to think here. You put one here, then one here, then one here, then one here, or one here, and so on and so forth until you actually get a full wall off. I would think that maybe on Whirlwind, because of the size of it, it would be well worth it to just go ahead and do a double hatch opener. Maybe. Just not if you spawn over here. Yes, just not if you spawn over here, okay? Anything but at this angle. 2 things coming by to take care of that probe, and we see the hatch is going to go down at just the right time. And of course, defensive photon cannon and the gateway are going down at just the right location. With those being placed there, we won't be seeing any lings get by anytime soon. 2 gases being tacked on for Tydro, rather standard timing. Now, there are some things that I'd like to highlight as they come. The question is, when are the gases at the natural going to be taken? You know, just what exactly is the timing for them? If we see them taking it around the 6-minute mark, then we're definitely going to see, I want to say, some kind of a Sky Toss composition, maybe some kind of maybe a Twilight Council play. Whatever it takes to build a, what's the word I'm looking for? Anything to build with an advanced structure, if you will. Alright, probe basically got all the vision over here, knows that there's a third, knows that there's a natural, and Bacon hasn't taken any gases yet. So it just tells us that he's going to drone up and try and do, I think, some kind of, like, we're not going to know until the Roach Warren goes down, but some kind of a Stefano /TLO style macro up. And here it is, the Stargate going down by Tydro. And the gas is going down at 6 minutes 11 seconds. The question is, like, if Bacon had an Overlord there right now to see just how much, you know, just to see if the gases were being taken. But he doesn't. That's the biggest problem right now. He doesn't see what's going on. Excuse me. Kevin inhaled some saliva into my windpipe, if you will. And is this a roach one? It is. So it seems like we have a kind of classic-ish kind of Stefano roach style. We also have 2 gases in the natural. This might be some kind of original play. And we are going to wait for the 2 gases in, well, either 1 gas in the main or 1 gas at the third. Okay, 1 gas at the third. And when's the gas in the main going down? Maybe not ever. Alright, so here we go. Another gas at the third. Seems to be the choice for Bacon. Tydro actually has 1 too many probes on the second gas at the natural. And 1 too many probes on one of the gases at the main. Just teeny little bit of mistakes here. I want to say that from personal observation, this just makes the difference. Like, I mean, in one of these games, if this was Grandmaster versus Grandmaster, this could end up, you know, just kind of adding up and costing one of the players the game. But of course, here we go. We're approaching the 8-minute mark. Bacon should be just really doing nothing but cranking out overlords right now. But he's just cranking out a bunch of slow puppies right now. There we go. Overlord's now finally getting on the way, getting maxed out. And, oh, the second Stargate on the way for Tydro? It looks like whatever he's doing, he's definitely trying to commit to it. There are now 4 Phoenixes out on the map. That's a lot of them. Overseer gets cancelled, and now Bacon is no longer oblivious to what Tydro is trying to do. And with that, he's just gonna go ahead and put down some spore crawlers. Right now, I think the best thing he can do is kill some overlords, kind of put a supply block on Bacon, maybe get a few drones that are on gas and a queen hero there. And it looks like one of these Phoenixes, oh, barely survives. And the losses right now are kind of just stacking up a little bit for Bacon. But right now, the one thing, it's kind of like making a bunch of Zerglings early game as Zerg. If you make a bunch of Zerglings and not using them, you can at least use them to check the map, click in random positions on the minimap, make sure you've got some kind of vision of it. But right now, Tydro, he's trying to find some overlords, but he can't really find them in safe-ish positions. I want to say these are defensive position overlords that are meant to pick up on any warp prisms that may be moving out on the map. Looks like there was a Zergling here that got taken down, trying to prevent the third. And now we have another probe being put over here to throw the third down for Tydro. He's kind of supply blocked at 100 supplies. Just tacked on a couple more pylons to take care of that. And he's going to get a couple of Overlord kills here. Hydraless Den is down. And now Bacon is effectively supply blocked. But there are now 11 Hydras on the way. So, it's just hard to say where things are going to go from here. Twilight Council is now in production for Tydro. His style, from what I know, he likes to integrate DTs into his play versus Protosses. But given the fact that we see Void Rays here now and double Stargate at that, I'm thinking he's getting the Twilight Council so that he can actually get High Templars, because he's going to need that down before he can actually get the Dark, no, not the Dark Shrine, the Templar Archives out. So now basically Tydro has a small window, or excuse me, he's got a small window where he's actually going to be quite vulnerable to attacks from our Zerg. And I think, Bacon is avidly aware of this. But we have to see him move out and be much more active with his Hydras. One thing that I liked from Tydro was that he actually waited for the normal timing from, what's the word I'm looking for? He was actually waiting for the normal timing to move out with 4 Phoenixes from one Stargate instead of going straight into another Stargate and double cranking out, what do you call them, Phoenixes. And now this is actually quite critical. Bacon knows what's on the way. He knows that there's actually 2 Stargates in the main, and this is going to be the game changer. If he can open his eyes and think, oh crap, I need to move out and do something now, we could see Tydro in a lot of trouble. Bacon is kind of supply blocked. He's got a few roaches here. Those are going to be like basically easily dispatched of if the Void Rays target them down. And the Templar Archives is about 30 seconds away from finishing, and the epic music is queuing at just the right time. You know, the question is Tydro going to be able to hold here? He's going up against a 200 supply Zerg that's got nothing but Hydras in production, as well as some Queens. Well, just one Queen, actually. And this is a lot of Overseers right here. He wants to be able to see something critical. What is it? Possibly Observers? And now Bacon is getting ready to move into the natural, I think. He's like, okay, great. This guy's trying to turtle up on the third base. And I just, you know, if I move into the natural, it could be GG. So he's right in position. I think he's trying to force an engagement or just block forces from regrouping. And here it is. You know, all these Void Rays against all these Hydras, that is, you know, just... the Hydras really need to be focusing down the Void Rays, but they're not right now. And they are. There's only 4 Void Rays left. There's only a handful of Hydras. Tydro's got to be careful. He's actually getting surrounded by these Hydras right now. And they're being chased down. There's a lot of Photon Cannons back here. The Void Rays are trying to do what they can against these... the Photon Cannons are trying to do what they can against the Roaches. But with these Hydras coming back and the very few Roaches there are tanking for the Hydras, I think we're going to see Tydro lose his third base. There's just nothing he can do to hold this, especially with how many Hydras there are right now. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, your answer to Sky Toss. You need to make a perfect timing with your Hydras and be avidly aware of just what your opponent is doing at all times. There it is, the GG from Tydro. Unfortunately, couldn't make it to Sky Toss. Well, he did make it to Sky Toss. He just didn't have the Templar Archives out and the High Templars out in time to deal with those Hydras en masse. But looks like he was going for carriers at the last second, and his Templar Archive was actually over here. Only began researching Psionic Storm when the Hydras were out. Or, excuse me, when the Hydras were basically nibbling at his third base. So, yeah. If you guys liked what you saw, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. It's been flashing the entire video. I'm just waiting for you guys to click on it. This was Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.